Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. Now in this video, we're going to be comparing two of the pretty top tier SMGs in this game, the Spitfire SMG and the CORDITE. And these two are pretty well known for their fast fire rates and also uniqueness of these different weapons. For example, the CORDITE and the operator mod with that, the Spitfire and its insane operator mod that allows the fire rate to go to insane rates. And I think most people in the general consensus around pro players and most people is that the SOG 9mm is the best overall SMG, but right below that is probably the Spitfire and the CORDITE, and best overall doesn't mean it's the best in every single scenario, it just means overall rating, right? So for example, if you want something that's better for close range, of course the Spitfire Wildfire or the SOG 9mm Akimbo is going to be better, but if you want something for longer range, the GKS might be your best, so it all depends what you're looking for. If you guys could drop a like in this video, let's go for 1,500 likes. That would be absolutely amazing if we could hit that. I would very, very much appreciate that. Smack that like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed. Also appreciate everyone in the notification squad right beside that subscribe button. Hit that bell. I very do much appreciate that. So let's break it down and talk about why I think the CORDITE is kind of underrated and can compete with something like the SOG 9mm if that's what you're going for. So first of all, we're going to compare these things by utility, raw stats, and then attachments, operator mods, and different uniqueness of how it goes. So when we come down to the utility, that's what I'm talking about with the magazine size, the ADS, fire rates, different stuff like that. The magazine size is the first huge noticeable difference, with the CORDITE having 60 in the magazine and the Spitfire having only 34. This is also basically added on to as far as a utility thing with of course, the Spitfire has a faster fire rate with around an 1,051 fire rate. The CORDITE is more around 812 RPM. So, of course, because the Spitfire is firing faster, you're going to get the bullets out of the gun quicker, but you're also going to have to reload more often because of you're going to be burning through those 34 bullets faster than you would burn through 34 out of the 60 of the CORDITE. When it comes down to the ADS speed is the same for both of them, around 250 milliseconds. However, you can slap a quick draw on the Spitfire to speed that up. And when it comes down to reload times, the reload time for the complete Spitfire is going to be 1.55. The reload time for the complete CORDITE is 1.97. So you think the CORDITE's reload time is a lot longer, but then when you compare the magazine size of 60 to 34, of course the CORDITE gets the edge there on the magazine and reload thing. However, you can slap on extended mags and fast mags and different stuff we'll talk about later onto the Spitfire to increase that. So that's the utility. When it comes down to the raw damage and how fast these weapons kill, which is an important thing because these are two very fast firing guns and you want these guns to have very good time to kills, right? So when we break it down with the Spitfire and the CORDITE, the thing that at first they both kill in 6 to 9 bullets. However, the CORDITE actually does have a 5 bullet kill range, but it's only 3 meters. So 3 meters, I mean, you guys can probably space it out in your head right now. They pretty much have to be right in front of you, but if they are right in front of you, you actually can get a 5-shot kill with the CORDITE, which is not available on the Spitfire. The Spitfire's max one is going to be a 6-shot kill, and that's because up to 3 meters the CORDITE will hit for 32 damage, and this as the Spitfire hits for 27 damage up to 9 meters. So when it comes down to the time to kills, even though, like I said, the CORDITE has a 5-shot kill range, which the Spitfire does not, because of these weapons' fire rates, essentially, the time to kill of the Spitfire is still going to be faster than the CORDITE by around 30 milliseconds, somewhere around there, a very, very small amount of time, but it's around, if the fastest time to kill with the Spitfire would be around, a decent amount, it's going to be, the CORDITE's going to kill a little bit slower, and that is if you're hitting every single bullet, even with that 5-shot kill range, and of course that's extended out to the 6-shot kill range, out to other stuff as well. So the raw stats and the time to kill, you're going to of course kill faster with the Spitfire because the damage, while it does a tiny bit less damage, the fire rate more than makes up for that. So the Spitfire is definitely the better weapon up close because of that. Now that we've talked about raw stats and utility, with the Spitfire being better for time to kill and being better up close, but the CORDITE having more utility around it, we got to break down the attachments on these weapons. Now first of all, let's talk about the operator mods. The operator mods for these weapons are both really good. The CORDITE one, I recommend, I use it sometimes, but I think that's more of something that, like I talked about in my class the other day, if you have trouble deciding between reloading, healing up, or rushing a player and going for the gunfight, that can really help you out because it eliminates that decision of if you want to reload, so that can be pretty cool. However, on the other side, the Spitfire Wildfire operator mod is crazy and increases that time to kill even more up close. You're basically double doubling or tripling down to your damage up close. However, then the recoil is basically uncontrollable at anything other than close range. Now, when we break down the available attachments on these weapons, that's the next thing we need to talk about, because these weapons both have a decent amount of recoil, right? And that's a big thing to talk about. So, the available attachments on the Cordite are extended mags, laser sight, FMJ, long barrel, grip, rapid fire, and FMJ2. And the available attachments on the Spitfire are laser sight 1 and 2, extended mags, fast mags, FMJ, quick draw, and stock. So if you're a fan of quick draw or stock, definitely the edge there is on the Spitfire. Now, if we're comparing these guns, we got to compare realistic class setups, right? So realistic class setups of something that I would use, and I think a lot of people would use because it's a good setup, would be an example with the Spitfire. You're always looking for a grip because that weapon is kind of like the Vesper, how it was in Black Ops 3. However, the thing with the Spitfire is there literally is no grip. So extended mags and fast mags is usually what I run on that gun. And number one, that basically eliminates your utility advantage for the Cordite. However, you don't get much else out of those attachments. You just get the fact that you don't have to worry about reloads. You don't get to control the weapon better. You don't get to, anything else. You don't get anything else out of that. But that's what I would usually run on Spitfire. If I'm to run a third attachment, you could slap something else on there. But if I was to run two attachments on the Cordite to compare, number one would be grip, which is an edge to the Cordite because the Spitfire has more recoil automatically, and it doesn't have the grip available. So when you have grip on the Cordite, you are basically taking that to your advantage, and the facts are with that, you really don't have to worry too much because of the fact that you have the grip on that. You have a weapon that already has less recoil, plus you're doubling down with the grip, so the Cordite still has some recoil, kicking up to the right, but it's a lot less than the Spitfire. And the second realistic attachment I would run would be long barrel, and this is where we get more into the intense comparisons, and that's why I probably want to do another video after this comparing like maybe the SOG 9mm and the Cordite, because these weapons really are, Call of Duty is on the surface a very, very simple game, but when you break it down to statistics like this, it gets a lot more complicated, right? So the facts are, with the, I talked about the 5-shot kill range of the Cordite, and then the 6-shot kill range is what you're usually going to be killing with the Cordite, and traditionally that is between 3 meters and 18 meters. However, with the attachments I run, grip and then long barrel, it increases that from 3 meters to 18 meters, from around 3 meters to 27 meters or something like that, where you're still going to be hitting for a 6-shot kill with the Cordite. So what this means then with that long barrel is basically you're going to have an advantage of time to kill from 18 to 27 meters with that weapon, with that weapon, Cordite over the Spitfire. Now, where this comes into play is the fact that you're probably not going to be shooting people with the Spitfire too often from 18 to 27 meters, and with the Cordite you are more available to do that. So when it breaks down between these two weapons, I think if we're talking about just straight up which weapon is going to kill the person faster and melt the person faster up close, we're going to go with the Spitfire. If we're picking which weapon has the best utility and controllability, we're going to go with the Cordite. So for example, I think the Cordite with this setup is a more controllable weapon that still kills so damn fast up close that you're pretty much going to beat the majority of guns in the game. You might lose if you run to a straight up gunfight against the Spitfire or something that's a crazy gun, but with the Cordite also, the way you can practice and control that recoil, it actually is manageable at a medium range. And the thing about the Spitfire is, say what you want, sure, it is kind of manageable. If you run it with the operator mod, it's not at all. If you run it without the operator mod, you can control the recoil to a decent amount on the Spitfire. However, they both kick up and to the right, but the Spitfire just goes way, way, way more vertical a lot quicker, and that's why the Cordite can get an advantage there. So breaking it down between these two weapons, I think it really all depends on what you're going for, and the argument here you could make is if you're going for a close range gun, of course the Spitfire is going to be that one you're going to take. However, if you're going for something that you want a little more utility out of it, then it would probably be between the Cordite, if you want to go with that, or even the SOG 9mm, which probably is statistically overall the best weapon in the game. But it comes down to personal preference, and the cool thing that I like is it reminds me kind of like the Weevil or P90, or guns that traditionally weren't the best SMG ever in the game, but were a solid SMG with some cool utility around it, and cool operator mod and some good attachments to build around. Plus, having 60 in the magazine is definitely a good thing to start out with on the Cordite. You don't have to worry about slapping that extended mags on, which I think if you do, you get up to like 90, which is just ridiculous. Anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys could smack a like on this thing, I would very, very much appreciate that. Appreciate everyone watching to the end. Let me know in the comment section down below which other guns you'd like to see me do a stat comparison and a class up comparison and all that like I did in today's video. I've already done quite a few of them, but there's still some other ones that I need to do, so let me know in the comment section down below. I've already done, I think I did the SOG and the Spitfire, the Vapor and the ICR, and the Maddox and the KN, but I'm open to comparing other weapons. Let me know in the comment section down below which ones you guys think could be good ideas for that, or for this sort of series, I guess you could say, or whatever. I don't know if it's really a series. Drop a like, subscribe, and that's about it, guys, and I'm out. Peace. See you on the next one.